Welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to import a GitHub repo into Azure Notebooks. Now, Azure Notebooks is a tool that Microsoft provides for free where you can run Jupyter notebooks in it. They're actually containerized computers, basically running on the cloud, where you can run these Jupyter notebooks. Now, GitHub actually does provide a mechanism for you to view the Jupyter notebooks natively in there, but you can't actually run or edit or kind of alter the notebooks in there. So that's why we're going to show you how to do this in Azure Notebooks. Now, first, you're going to want to navigate to notebooks.azure.com. And once you do, you're going to want to sign in. There should be a button up at the top right corner that says sign in right here. Just go ahead and sign in with your Microsoft account. Now, if you don't have a Microsoft account, you're going to have to sign up for one and create one, which is also free in there. So after you've done that and you've logged into the notebooks.azure.com, you're going to go ahead and click on the button that says My Projects. And once you do, then you're going to be presented with this. Now, I've already got one that I've been imported, but yours should be blank if you've just started to do this. Over here on the right-hand side, there's a button that says Upload GitHub Repo. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and then we're presented with this pop-up. And the first thing you're going to do is navigate to the GitHub repository. So in my other tab, I have the repository that I'm going to clone, which is my classes repository. And you can get it from here. You're going to copy and paste the entire URL. Come back over here and then paste that into there. Now you notice that the dialog automatically stripped out the github.com/ into there for you. One note is that if you're using enterprise GitHub, it's not going to be able to work in this specific case. Now, for the clone recursively, you don't need to click on that. Basically what that means is if there's any sub repositories inside of the main repository that you're going to be copying in, it'll make sure that it pulls those in there as well. Now in my class, I'm not going to be using sub repositories, so you don't need to worry about that. But you may if you're cloning something else that's a little bit bigger. For the project name, I like to change this to something that's a little bit more understandable. And the way I like to do this is I like to put out the name of the class that I'm going to be teaching, like this, and then the semester that I'm going to be teaching it in. So spring 2020. Now I've already created this over there. So I'm going to call this test in there. For the project ID, this is going to be the actual URL that's going to be presented up to the top there. So you can see up here, I have the azure.com, then mertz-pcc/projects. And then if I did another / and then this specific project ID, it would navigate directly into there. So I would also make this a little bit easier for you to type in as well. So it's going to be PCC-CIS 012-SPR-2020-test in this case. Now you can click on public if you want to, but what this means is that the project will be able to be viewed by anyone and be able to navigate to that. So if you want to keep it private and you're going to be putting some things that might be somewhat personal or private in there, or you don't want other people's to see, then don't click on that. Then finally, you do need to click on this I trust the contents of this repo. Now, hopefully you trust my project as you're going to be importing that in there. But if you're importing something from somewhere else, make sure that it is from a source that you trust and understand. Azure Notebooks does allow for JavaScript to be executed remotely. And there's quite a bit of powerful things that you can do with that. But also that means that if somebody does and adds some nefarious type of JavaScript inside of their repo, then you potentially could be accidentally running that code. So just be careful you're running the code, or that you trust the actual contents of the repository that you're going to be importing from. Then finally, we're going to click on the import button. And then this will take some time. And the reason why is it's actually pulling the contents of that GitHub repository into the project space. And so that takes a little bit of time to actually do that. And it will take more time depending on how big the project is. So we're going to go ahead and wait and let this finish like it has just now. So once it has, it'll actually navigate directly into the project area. And you'll be able to see kind of the root area that is in. Now, if you're familiar with GitHub and branching, this will automatically be on the main branch. So if you need to change branches, you're going to have to do that manually using the terminal, which we can go over in another, I'll go over in another video. And then, so to kind of just test it out and make sure that things are working, go ahead and click into the lecture material. And then we're going to click on the very first Jupyter Notebook, the Introduction to Programming here. And we're going to make sure that everything looks like is running. And it does. It looks like it is doing that. Now, one thing to note, when you're looking at my GitHub or my Jupyter Notebooks, I assume that you're running on Python 3.6 or higher. And so you're going to need to change the kernel. You can do that by clicking on the kernel button right here, change kernel, and then Python 3.6. So we're going to do that. Wait for this to stay connected up in the top right-hand corner. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And look at this guy, creating our first program. And just make sure that everything's working. So I'm going to enter in my name, like this, and then run the cell. And hey, look, it looks like it's working. So that's how you clone a GitHub repository into an Azure Notebooks project space. And hopefully this is helpful to you. Feel free to hit me up if you have any other questions, and I'll see you another time.